Despite my many years playing Mario games, I've never really paid attention to the Yoshi series that much. The only game I really got any mileage out of was Crafted World on the Switch, but even then, I still haven't beaten it yet. So, for a while there, the Yoshi series kind of just sat in obscurity for me. However, when Wave 4 of the Mario Kart 8 Deluxe DLC was announced to feature a track based on Yoshi's Island, my interest in the series perked a little bit. So, I decided to finally give the original Yoshi's Island a fair shot, and I had a really good time with it. I love the unique mechanics this game introduces, and most of the levels are pretty fun. The game is split up into 6 worlds with 8 levels each, as well as a secret unlockable level. 2 of the levels in each world are a tower and a castle, both filled with tons of dangerous obstacles, and where you face off against a boss in the end. So today, I'm going to rank every boss in Yoshi's Island from worst to best. This list will be based on how fun and creative the bosses are, as well as some of my personal preferences. So without further ado, let's go! 12. Salvo the Slime. You know you've got a pathetic boss when the boss himself can't hurt you. I'm not even joking. You literally don't take any damage when Salvo touches you, but somehow the smaller slimes that fall off Salvo can hurt you, because that makes all the sense. You keep throwing eggs until he shrinks into nothing, and if you somehow run out of eggs, you can just eat the little slime balls sliding around. In fact, this boss is so easy that the next time we see him, he's just a regular enemy. That's kind of sad. 11. BURT the Bashful. If you've played any Yoshi's Island game, you probably remember this guy, as he's in almost, if not every game. BURT will hop around the arena, and you just have to keep hitting him until he's naked. Wow, that's embarrassing. However, unlike Salvo, BURT can actually hit you if he manages to touch you, and if you run out of eggs, you have to run into the middle of the stage where it's easier to get hit. This boss is still incredibly easy, but I find it to be slightly more engaging than Salvo. 10. Marching Mild. You know those Goombas in New Super Mario Bros. That split in half when you jump on them? This is kinda like that. This Mild grows extra thick, and you have to ground pound his head to make him split into smaller Milds. The concept is pretty cool, and I enjoy this fight for what it is, but seeing as you're halfway through the game when you first meet this guy, I feel like they could have done a lot more to make the fight more difficult. The Milds don't even try to attack you, they just walk around aimlessly. 9. Bigger Boo. If you thought Super Mario 64 had a Big Boo, just wait until you meet this guy. Bigger Boo is pretty shy like most Boos, so if you look at him, he'll turn invisible and you can't hit him. Instead, you have to look away and bounce the eggs off the wall so they hit Boo when he's chasing you. Be careful though, because every time you hit Boo, he'll grow bigger until he's covering half the damn screen. It's another easy fight, but it's definitely a lot more interesting than the last 3. 8. Sluggy the Unshaven. Supposedly we're fighting a slug, but this looks more like a sentient glob of jello. Just like Salvo the Slime from earlier, Sluggy doesn't hurt you when you touch him. However, if you don't take him down fast enough, you'll eventually get pushed off the edge. Sluggy's body is much more soft than the other bosses, so you have to throw eggs to mold him until you eventually strike his heart. Do this 3 more times, and you'll defeat him. This boss is alright, it's just nothing that special. 7. Naval Piranha. Don't worry, this guy may look threatening with all the spikes, but he's actually not that tough. This plant will charge across the screen and slam its head against the wall. This will give you a chance to bounce an egg across the water and hit his little weak spot on his belly. There are some other attacks Piranha will use, like summoning little nippers that'll walk across the stage, and he'll sometimes psych you out when you try to jump over him, so make sure not to get fooled. For a boss this cool looking, I definitely expected more, but it's still kind of fun. 6. The Potted Ghost. Who knew that ghosts could be grown as plants? You simply have to keep pushing the pot holding the ghost until he falls off the side. Unfortunately, the ghost doesn't seem to like getting pushed, so he'll try to push back, as well as send balls of blue fire down from his mouth. There's even a couple Shy Guys hanging around to add more resistance. I can't explain why I enjoy this boss, but I just do. It's such a wonderfully stupid idea for a fight that I can't help but love. 5. Prince Froggy. Well, this is quite the interesting situation. Instead of Kamek making the enemy bigger, now he shrinks Yoshi, which gets him eaten by a frog. Just another day in the life of Mario. What you have to do is wait for these giant Shy Guys to fall from the top. Then you can eat them and throw the eggs at Froggy's uvula. Keep doing this until his stomach can't take it anymore, and you win. The only real obstacles you have to worry about are these drops of acid falling from above, but they're not that hard to avoid. Again, I just love how stupid this fight is. It's such a creative idea. 4. HOOKBILL the Koopa. I don't know what it is, but something about that Koopa's face is kind of unsettling. Unlike your usual Koopas, simply jumping on this guy won't be enough to defeat him, but it will spawn in a bunch of eggs, and trust me, you'll need a lot of eggs for this fight. Once you do have enough, you need to throw them directly at HOOKBILL's head until he falls on his back, allowing you to ground pound his belly. This is the first fight on this list that actually feels like a fight. HOOKBILL can be pretty aggressive if you're not fast enough, making the fight way more interesting. 3. Tap Tap the REDINOSE. The game takes one of the most annoying enemies in the entire game and makes it big. Yippee. Simply throwing eggs won't be enough to take down this guy, as they'll simply stun him for a moment. Thankfully, the floor is made up of these tiles that break when you throw eggs at them, so you want to keep doing that until you create an opening. Then, you can knock REDINOSE into the lava, or he'll just fall in himself. It's an awesome idea for a boss, and is a lot of fun. 2. Raphael the Raven. You fight a giant bird in space. What more could you ask for? You run around this little planetoid with Raphael chasing you. When he stops running, you have to ground pound these little pegs so they pop out and hurt him. This will cause Raphael to get red with anger, which means he'll start running faster and send shockwaves across the stage. I really like this boss fight. It may be a bit short, but it's really enjoyable to play through, but it's not nearly as good as 1. Baby Bowser. It honestly wasn't even close. Baby Bowser absolutely crushes all the other bosses in Yoshi's Island. It starts off pretty basic, with you simply having to stomp the floor and send shockwaves to stun Bowser. But then, Kamek flies by and uses his magic to turn Bowser into a big boy. And I mean a very big boy. Now, his attacks are much more aggressive, with him spitting large fireballs and destroying parts of the stage. The only way to defeat him in this form is to grab these giant eggs floating by and throw them at Bowser before he gets too close. This is one of the few times where Bowser comes off as legitimately threatening, and it's easily the best boss in Yoshi's Island. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, then make sure to give it a like, and let me know down in the comments which one of these bosses is your favorite. Also, subscribe to my channel with notifications on, so you'll know when I post more videos like this. Have a great day, stay safe out there, and I will see you in the next one.